Concerns over a recession are growing, but what could that mean for the future of Bitcoin? Welcome to the Daily Forkast, May 4th, 2022. I'm Megha Chaddah of Forkast, covering all things blockchain. Bitcoin has become increasingly correlated with risk assets as time has gone on, and that's brought its role as a safe haven in times of economic crisis into question. We'll take a look at that plus a whole lot more coming up. Let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
Let's kick off with a development in crypto space in South Korea. Digital bank KakaoBank has announced it's reviewing a partnership with a local cryptocurrency exchange. In a local report, Yoon Ho-young, CEO of KakaoBank, said crypto is a major asset amongst customers and they are looking at how they can provide virtual asset services in the form of a business in a favorable light. Local reports also suggested that Kakao is exploring a partnership with crypto exchange CoinOne, which the digital bank has denied. KakaoBank is South Korea's largest digital bank with 18 million customers. Meanwhile, competing neobank KBank has tripled its number of users since 2020 after it partnered with the South Korea's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Upbit. You can find that story and a whole lot more at Forkast.News. Meanwhile, has Bitcoin become a victim of its own success? Bitcoin was released in the midst of the Great Recession in 2009, and it's proved fairly resilient to the vagaries of market crisis since. But with the murmurs of another recession gaining steam, what do industry watchers think of Bitcoin's relevance as a safe haven now? Forkast Lachlan Keller reports.
Inflation has been driven to its highest point in 40 years in the US, and the global economy is suffering from supply chain disruption due to China's zero-COVID strategy, while the crisis in Ukraine continues. Central banks around the world have responded by beginning to raise interest rates, with the Reserve Bank of Australia announcing its first increase in 11 years yesterday. But one expert told Forkast that may have been too late.
Potentially the Fed and maybe even the RBA, or really the RBA, should have started to act probably late last year instead of leaving it till now. But the fact that growth now looks to be under threat from multiple sources does create the grounds for concerns over a policy mistake. And that's what's sparking the talk of recession.
Bitcoin, meanwhile, had been gaining a reputation as a safe haven in times of economic crisis. Safe havens are assets which are expected to outperform when broader financial markets crumble. In Bitcoin's early days, its US dollar price was inversely correlated to traditional markets, but that has now changed, with it beginning to track the Nasdaq's composite performance quite closely late last year. But Ben Caslin of crypto exchange AAX told Forkast there should be more of a decoupling between Bitcoin and tech stocks or the Nasdaq over the coming years. He went on to say that a recession could help drive the conversation around Bitcoin's relationship to inflation and loss of purchasing power, as well as the rising and proliferating conversation around sound money. Meanwhile, Igneous Terranus of crypto exchange Bybit says there are key differences between Bitcoin and assets like tech stocks tracked by the Nasdaq composite, and he expects Bitcoin to emerge as the stronger of the two.
Bitcoin doesn't have a corporate structure, doesn't have a CEO. Essentially, like, it's community driven, and then there's full transparency. There's a verifiable scarcity that is programmed into in the beginning, whereas you can always find more gold mines. It's censorship resistant, which has become very important, during a conflict, or when government confiscation is on people's mind.
However, Sycamore says Bitcoin did track equities during the very brief recession in 2020, and he thinks it's still part of the risk asset complex.
In 2020, it was very tightly followed equities very closely. We saw the sell-off of both cryptocurrencies and equities, and then the subsequent recovery. So my view is you're going to see the same thing.
Clouding matters further is the fact that Bitcoin's next halving event is expected in 2024, which could align with the path of a recession should it occur. Bitcoin halving refers to when the reward for mining the cryptocurrency is cut in half, theoretically increasing its price, but limiting supply. But Caslin says that price is not just a dynamic that's related to the mining rate. With over 19 million of the 21 million Bitcoin that could ever be created already in circulation, and a market capitalization of over $700 billion US, he thinks the impact of halving is unlikely to be as significant as it had been previously. For Forkast, I'm Lachlan Keller.
NFTs are definitely taking the world by storm, and India is no exception. Online travel company MakeMyTrip says it has become the first Indian travel brand to step into the NFT space. In a tweet, the company said its NFT collection named Virtual Vacations aims at bringing to life a kaleidoscopic meta-world view of some of India's best travel destinations. MakeMyTrip says it will pass on the proceeds from the sale of the NFTs to support projects focusing on promoting sustainable tourism in India. NFTs have also gained a foothold in the tourism sector as a way of issuing tickets, with the Spanish airline Air Europa's first NFT ticket reportedly sold at auction for $1 million, making it likely the most valuable ticket sold in commercial aviation history. The NFT ticket incorporates a trip from Madrid to Miami, as well as an exclusive digital artwork. The annual Coachella Music Festival is venturing into the world of NFTs. The Southern California Fest launched 6 NFT collections, some priced as high as 6 digits, with perks ranging from free Ferris wheel rides to a lifetime access to future festivals. Yehuda Peche, NFT relations strategist at CryptoSlam, a cross-chain NFT data tracker and aggregator, joins in to discuss the exciting world of NFT ticketing and all that it offers on NFT Insider. Good seeing you again, Yehuda.
Hey, great to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Well, to kick it off, there's just so much potential here with NFTs as a ticket to the concert from your favorite artist or a game or even a conference. We've seen with Coachella how different NFTs were used to scale the offerings and customize the fan experience. This goes beyond what, a QR code could do.
Yeah, that's right. Coachella is really one of the first I've seen lean into the gamified event experience with NFTs. They gave early access to lines. They had some that you could redeem for art and posters. And like you mentioned, even 10 lifetime Coachella passes. Each of those could be done in the traditional world without NFTs. So where they really innovated was simply using the tech. And over the years, others will build onto what they've done. They'll probably build onto what they've done, and we'll see more robust experiences. What we're likely to see, though, fan clubs that act as a ticket that also you can redeem for merch. And then let's see how those tickets evolve once these major events move into the metaverse. In general, though, NFTs as access passes, it's a key part of Web3, and we're going to see a lot of innovation there.
This is just the start, isn't it? And the sports world is also not far behind. The NBA All-Star VIP Pass NFTs are being described as groundbreaking, and they go beyond, the fans getting a meet and greet or special merch, doesn't it?
Yeah, they really do. And the sports world is really leading the charge into NFTs as one of the biggest innovators. They really were early adopters to Web3, and they basically put NFTs on the map with NBA Top Shot. Those All-Star NFTs, they're like the ultimate All-Star experience. They're a 5-year pass to the All-Star game. They have bonus perks like the in-person events, the tours, the meet and greets, handful of other things. So like Coachella, they're part of a much bigger experience. So those passes, yes, they are groundbreaking, but I also hope down the road, those kind of things that they're offering are considered normal. And we'll see real innovation when the lines between tickets and collectibles and games and fantasy sports start to blur.
So far, we've talked fan experience, but going beyond that, tokenized tickets also give event organizers a way to benefit and track secondary ticket sales, cut out the middleman, and possible scalpers. Are we just scratching the surface here? What use cases are you excited about?
Yeah, everything you mentioned are huge use cases already. And also mentioned the preservation of your ticket is not a small deal. We've had ticket stubs from events like Michael Jordan's first appearance, Jackie Robinson's first game, sell for $500,000. So now that your digital ticket can be preserved and it can be verified, there's a different type of potential value that your stub has. So yeah, all of that scratching the surface. Over the next few years, we'll see, people are going to see what like Gary Vaynerchuk has done with the VFriends collection, how he's managed to create tickets that are sought after collectibles, that are funding a major multi-day professional conference called VCon, all of which are possible because NFTs are so easy to distribute and validate. So your one ticket can now do a lot, and builders and brands have really taken notice of that. Let's see what they can deliver over the years.
The world is an oyster for NFT ticketing. Let's see what lies ahead for it. Thank you so much for some very interesting insights, Yehuda.
Thanks so much.
And that's the daily forecast from our vantage point right here in Asia. For more, visit Forkast.News. I'm Forkast's Megha Chaddah. Until next time.